Why do some businesses fail within the first 5 to 8 months, or even earlier? Many people start businesses with excitement, big dreams, and strong determination. Yet within a short period the business begins to struggle. Customers reduce, sales drop, and confusion sets in. The factors I am about to explain reveal 10 major reasons why many businesses collapse even within their first few months. I will also explain why some people work extremely hard, do everything they believe is right, yet it still feels as if nothing is moving forward. Many people blame their results on family, friends, relatives, the economy, or even the business itself. But the real question is this: is it truly the business? Is it the location? Is it family influence? Or what exactly is responsible? Why do customers stop coming the way they used to? Why does it feel like any business you start just refuses to grow? As you listen carefully, you will begin to understand the real factors behind these struggles. In fact, the points in this video explain about 70 to 80% of the reasons why many businesses fail. Have you ever wondered why someone can wake up early every morning with passion and enthusiasm, go out to run their business, work hard throughout the day, and then return home feeling disappointed and frustrated? The truth is, in many cases the problem is not that the product is bad. There are deeper reasons. In this video, I will reveal 10 of them. And interestingly, numbers 2, 5, 9, and 10 are the ones you should pay even closer attention to. Now let us begin with the first reason why many businesses fail within their first 5 to 8 months. The first reason is lack of setting clear goals. This may sound like something you have heard many times before, but many people still misunderstand what it truly means. Goals are extremely important in business. Before you even begin your daily business activities, you should already know what you want to achieve, how you want to achieve it, and why it is important for you to achieve it. A clear goal keeps you focused on the target for the day. It reminds you of what must be done and prevents you from spending time on activities that look easy but produce little result. There are 3 major types of goals every serious business owner should have. The first is immediate goals. These are goals you want to accomplish today or within a few days, usually within 3 to 7 days or less than a month. Immediate goals answer simple but powerful questions such as: what must I achieve today? What tasks must be completed immediately? Why is this important for the progress of my business? The second type is short-term goals. These are goals you plan to achieve within 2 to 6 months or within a short period ahead. For example, a short-term goal could be reaching a specific sales target, expanding your customer base, or saving a certain amount of money to improve your business. Then we have long-term goals. These are goals that may take 1 to 3 years or even more to accomplish. Long-term goals could include expanding your business, acquiring important assets, launching a new branch, or completing a major project. When these goals are properly defined, they push you to focus on what is difficult but necessary instead of what is easy but unproductive. Later in this video, I will also briefly explain the 80-20 principle and how it can help you prioritize the most important actions that move your business forward. The second reason why many businesses struggle or fail is poor relationship with customers. This factor alone carries a very large percentage of the discussion. You may have heard people say that the customer is always right. While this statement has its limits, one truth remains. The way you relate with customers determines whether they will return again or not. Let me share a personal experience to explain this better. There was a time I walked into a shop to buy an item. I called the attention of the person selling, but it seemed as if I was talking to myself. After a long moment, he reluctantly asked, "What do you want?" I was surprised because I had been calling for some time already. When I explained what I needed, he responded impatiently and said I should quickly say what I wanted so he could attend to others. Immediately, I heard that response. I felt uncomfortable. I began to wonder if I was not also a customer. I eventually bought the item and left. But honestly, if it were some other people, they might have walked away without buying anything. I also experienced something similar when I went to make photocopies of some documents. I greeted the person there and politely asked for photocopy services, instead of explaining the cost per copy so I could decide how many copies I needed. He kept asking the same question repeatedly with an unfriendly tone. At that point, I realized I had no time to waste trying to convince someone who did not seem ready for business. What made the situation even more interesting was that I had actually planned to give that person a contract from our organization. Unfortunately, his attitude cost him that opportunity. Situations like this happen often. Many people pray for customers to come, yet their own behavior ends up chasing customers away. Another friend of mine once bought an item from a shop, realized it was not exactly what he intended to buy, and tried to exchange it within 2 minutes. The seller refused completely, even though it was an honest mistake. My friend simply left and purchased the correct item somewhere else. When you look at situations like these, you realize that sometimes people destroy their own businesses through poor communication, anger, or lack of understanding. If you truly want to succeed in business, learn to treat customers with patience and respect. Do not make promises you cannot fulfill. If you tell a customer that something will be ready next week, make sure you keep that promise. Integrity is very important in business. You may gain money quickly by misleading someone, but in the long run, you lose the trust that brings repeat customers. Never forget that one satisfied customer can bring many more people to your business, and one unhappy customer can also discourage many others. Now this leads us to the third reason why many businesses fail, which is wrong pricing strategy. Pricing is more powerful than many people realize. Some people price their products too low, while others price them too high without understanding the psychology of customers. The truth is that customers are different, and they respond to prices differently. In business, you will usually encounter 3 broad types of customers. The first group are low-price customers. These customers genuinely want to buy, but they are very sensitive to price. They look for what they believe is fair and affordable. You may not make very large profits from them individually, but they can contribute to steady sales if handled well. The second group are moderate price customers. These customers are willing to pay a reasonable price and often allow you to make the expected level of profit. They are usually balanced buyers who value both price and usefulness. The third group can be divided into 2 categories. Category A are customers who may not complain about higher prices at first, but if they later feel the value does not match what they paid, they may never return again. Winning such customers once is not enough. The real challenge is keeping them satisfied so they continue to patronize you. Category B are customers who judge quality based on price. If a product looks too cheap, they may assume it is fake or of poor quality. I once had an experience related to this. I was about to provide a service to a client's family member. Someone else had already visited them and offered to do the same job for 5,000 naira. When the woman called me to confirm my price and realized it was the same amount, she immediately assumed the service was fake because similar work had previously cost them about 10 times more. She ended the call and never contacted me again. This experience clearly shows how pricing influences perception. When you understand how customers think about price and value, you can avoid the mistake of underpricing or overpricing your product. Pricing strategy matters greatly in business success. And sometimes it is not just about the price itself, but also about helping customers understand the value behind that price. When customers understand what they are paying for, they are more willing to trust and buy from you. But interestingly, even people who set good prices sometimes still struggle in business. And that brings us to the fourth factor, which I will explain in the next part of this video. Pricing strategy is one of the most sensitive parts of business for many customers. When it is not properly handled, you may unknowingly lose customers who would otherwise have continued buying from you. Understanding how pricing affects perception is therefore very important. But even when someone understands pricing, there is another powerful factor that destroys many businesses. The fourth factor is lack of patience and consistency. Many people simply do not have the patience required to stay committed to one business long enough to see results. If you truly want to succeed in business, you must develop the mindset of an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur understands that success takes time. You must be patient enough to allow the process to produce results. Unfortunately, many people today are constantly chasing whatever business appears to be trending at the moment. The moment they hear that another business is moving fast, they immediately abandon the one they started and jump into something new. Meanwhile, customers are still trying to understand the products you offer and build trust with you. Before they fully understand your business, you have already changed direction. Patience is extremely powerful. With patience, it is said that a person can even use a needle to dig a well. But impatience causes many people to operate 2 or 3 different businesses within the same year. Just when they are beginning to understand how one business works, they quickly abandon it and move to another. Success is not like instant noodles that are ready in a few minutes. Real success requires time, learning, adjustment, and persistence. I remember one of my mother's sisters. Over the years, she has started more than 10 different businesses within about 15 years. Every time she becomes tired of one business, she switches to another. And when things do not go well, she complains that unseen forces are responsible for her challenges. Yet my mother has always advised her to stay focused on one business and give it serious effort before concluding that it does not work. Think about it this way. Imagine you want to charge your mobile phone, but every 5 minutes you remove the charger and plug it into a different socket because you believe the battery is not charging fast enough. That phone will never become fully charged. In the same way, when you keep switching businesses too quickly, you prevent your business from gathering the momentum it needs to grow. However, some people have remained in one business for a long time and still struggle to grow. That brings us to the 5th factor: poor customer retention or poor customer service. Many businesses fail not because they lack customers, but because they do not know how to keep customers coming back. Customer service plays a very important role in business growth. People do not only buy products, they also remember how they were treated. In many cases, customers see you before they see what you are selling. If the service they receive is poor, they may decide never to return, even if your product is good. One important skill in business is learning how to understand your customers. Ask questions. Ask them what they think about your service. Ask what they believe you could improve. When you ask customers questions, you begin to understand their expectations, what they appreciate and what they do not like. You can also encourage repeat purchases by offering small incentives. For example, you might give a small discount for a customer's next purchase. There are people who will continue buying from you simply because they know you appreciate them. Even if they move to another location, they may still return because of the positive experience they had with you. Another helpful strategy is referral rewards. You can encourage customers to introduce others to your business by offering them a small benefit when they bring new customers. People appreciate recognition, even for small actions. Also remember that business relationships are not built on transactions alone. Sometimes it helps to show genuine interest in your customers as individuals. Ask about their well-being, their work, or their family when appropriate. When customers feel respected and valued, they begin to see you differently from other businesses. You can also create anticipation around your products. For example, you might inform your customers that a new product will be arriving soon and that the first few buyers will receive a special discount. This builds excitement and encourages them to keep checking back. Some businesses also create special service periods, such as offering a particular discount on a specific day of the week or month. Even small rewards can motivate customers to return regularly. Festival seasons can also be powerful opportunities. During festive periods, you can offer special promotions that encourage customers to remember your business when they want to buy. When customers feel appreciated and respected, they begin to see your business as a place they want to return to again and again. However, even when you provide good service, there is another issue that can quietly weaken your business. That is the sixth factor: emotional and sentimental decision-making. Many business owners allow excessive pity or emotion to influence their business decisions. For example, some people frequently allow customers to take goods with promises like "buy now and pay later" simply because they feel sorry for them. They believe that by doing this, they will keep customers loyal to their business. While this approach may appear helpful at first, it can slowly damage the financial stability of the business. In many cases, customers who take goods on credit do not return when it is time to pay. When you eventually ask for the money, it can create misunderstanding or conflict. The customer may feel embarrassed or offended and might even accuse you of making an issue out of a small amount of money. Situations like this can damage relationships and cause unnecessary arguments. For this reason, business owners must learn to balance kindness with discipline. Running a business requires wisdom and emotional control. If you become too sentimental in business decisions, you may unknowingly create financial problems for yourself. When emotion and business are not properly balanced, the business begins to struggle. But beyond patience, customer service, and emotional discipline, there is another important factor that many people overlook. And that brings us to the seventh factor, which I will explain in the next part of this video. Now, I am not saying you should not be kind to people, and I am definitely not saying you should treat customers badly or chase them away like they are not important. Kindness is very important in business, but there must always be balance. Business is not charity. When you become too emotional or overly sentimental with many customers, some people may begin to take you for granted. Gradually, this can slow down the growth of your business and even weaken it over time. Learning how to balance kindness with discipline is an important skill every entrepreneur must develop. Now, let's move to the seventh factor, which is not being open to new opportunities. Many business owners ignore new strategies, new ideas, or new methods of doing things. They continue using the same approach for years without considering that the world is constantly changing. As the world changes, people change, systems change, technology changes, and business strategies must also evolve. When you open your mind to new ideas and begin to apply them to the business you already have, you start operating at a different level. Sometimes small adjustments can create very powerful results. One way to stay open to new opportunities is through research. Study your market. Learn how to improve your product. Look for ways to make your business more competitive, because the marketplace is full of competitors who are constantly looking for ways to improve what they offer. People everywhere are researching and working tirelessly to make sure their businesses remain relevant. As a business owner, you should do the same. Attend business meetings, seminars, or training programs. Listen to educational materials. Watch videos that teach business strategies and personal development. When you expose yourself to new knowledge, your thinking begins to improve. And when your thinking improves, your decisions improve. Your decisions eventually determine the direction and future of your business. That is also one reason why you should subscribe to this channel, so you can receive more insights and updates on money, mindset, and business strategies. Content like this can help sharpen your thinking and guide you in making better business decisions. However, while you are working to improve your mindset and knowledge, there is another important factor you must also pay attention to, and that brings us to the eighth factor. The eighth factor is poor product packaging. Even a very good product can struggle to gain acceptance if the packaging is poor. The way your product looks matters. The way it is presented to customers matters as well. Sometimes the quality of the product may actually be very good, but the appearance makes it look outdated or unattractive. Customers often judge a product first with their eyes before they decide to buy. When the packaging looks old, poorly arranged, or unprofessional, many customers begin to lose interest immediately. They may ask for the price just out of curiosity, or say something like, "Hold on, let me go get something and come back." And you may never see them again. They did not leave because you are a bad person. They left because the appearance of the product did not inspire confidence. This is why product presentation is very important. Entrepreneurs should learn how to package their products attractively. Clean appearance, proper labeling, good arrangement, and even pleasant scent in certain businesses can influence how customers feel about your product. But interestingly, some people say their products are well packaged and their services are good, yet customers still do not buy as expected. This leads us to the ninth factor. The ninth factor is taking your products to people who may need them but do not want them. As an entrepreneur, you must understand the difference between a need and a want. Someone may truly need your product, but that does not automatically mean they want to buy it at that moment. A need is something that is necessary or useful, but a want is something a person has decided they are ready to get now. For example, someone may need a particular product eventually, but it may not be their priority at that time. When entrepreneurs spend too much energy chasing people who are not ready to buy, they waste valuable time and effort. Instead, focus more on people who already have interest or who understand the value of what you offer. At the same time, there are also people who may initially appear uninterested, but could become interested if they clearly understand the benefit of your product. Sometimes they simply need a little more explanation about why the product is valuable. Good communication can help them see the importance of what you are offering. Now, even when all these factors are properly handled, some businesses still struggle. And that brings us to the 10th factor. The 10th factor is spending on liabilities instead of investing in growth. Many business owners spend money on things that take money away from them instead of putting money into activities that help the business grow. For example, someone may have a television at home and another television at their business location, and both require paid subscriptions. In addition to that, there are expenses like mobile data, entertainment subscriptions, and other costs that may not directly contribute to business growth. Over time, these small expenses begin to accumulate. It is very important to sit down and make a list of the things that regularly take money from you, but do not contribute to the development of your business. Individually, they may appear small, but when you calculate how much you spend on them over 10 or 20 months, you may realize that a significant amount of money has been going into liabilities. These expenses could include transportation costs, unnecessary lifestyle spending, clothing, car expenses, or other personal habits that gradually drain resources from the business. When these costs are not controlled, they reduce the funds that could have been used to expand the business, improve marketing, or increase product quality. This is why setting clear goals, which we discussed earlier, is very important. Goals help you prioritize what truly matters and guide you toward actions that move your business forward. Now, before we conclude, remember that earlier I mentioned the 80-20 principle. The 80-20 principle simply explains that about 80% of the results you achieve often come from only 20% of the actions you take. In other words, a small number of your most important actions usually produce the greatest results. When you identify and focus on those important actions, you begin to see better progress in your business. Thank you for watching and listening. If you found this video helpful, do not forget to like the video, share your thoughts in the comment section, and subscribe to this channel so you can receive more insights about business, money, and mindset. And if this message has helped you, share it with someone else who may also benefit from it. Thank you for watching.